the day is gone, I'm still all alone. How could this be? You're not here with me. We never say goodbye. Someone tell me why. Did you have to go and leave my world so cold? Every day I sit and ask myself, how did love slip away? Something whispers in my ear and says, you are not alone. I'm here with you. Though if I were apart, you're always in my heart. And you are not alone. I'm here with you.
Welcome to the Breaking the Silence podcast. I am your host, Arthur Nikki Nicole. Here I believe in winning together and creating a safe, supportive space for people to share their stories and start their healing journey. My passion is to help people confront hidden battles, embrace their truths, and take steps towards a more fulfilling life. Every episode is designed to break the silence on topics that often go unspoken, leading to conversations that uplift, inspire, and transform. Join me as we break the barriers and find strength through shared experiences, one story at a time.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another powerful episode of Breaking the Silence. I am your host, Coach Nikki Nicole, and this is the space where we shine the light on incredible people who are doing great things and making a difference in the world. Together, we will uncover untold stories, break barriers, and challenge the norms to inspire change. Every episode will explore the journeys of individuals who have finally found their voices, overcame adversity, and are changing lives through their passion, resilience, and purpose. From thought provoking leaders to unsung heroes, I'll bring you the stories that need to be heard and the wisdom that can ignite transformation. So get ready to be inspired, to learn, and join this movement as we break the silence on issues that matter the most. So I know you're wondering, who do you have on the stage today? Man, this amazing guy has a resume when I tell you, filled with so many amazing accomplishments. And I cannot wait to dive in and find out, how did he become this amazing person in the music industry? Listen, y'all, don't take my word for it. After a countdown, please welcome Mr. Roger to the Breaking the Silence platform. Hello.
How you doing, Nikki? Good to see you.
Doing well. Thank you so much for being a guest. So tell everybody a little bit about, I know I didn't give them much. Because I want you to tell a little bit about yourself. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
All right. So my name is Roger Ortega, born and raised in Kansas. I spent the last 20 some years of my life out in New York and New Jersey, where I made music and followed my dreams. And then after 23 years, it was time to come home. So I'm back in Kansas now to be closer to family and all of that fun stuff. I'm an R&B pop recording artist and have had some some nice size hits for myself as far as albums are concerned. I'm a member of the Recording Academy, which is also known as the Grammys. So I get to vote for the Grammys and all that fun stuff too. And yeah, man, it's cool. I don't know. It's been a ride. It's been a ride. I'm a little on the older side, so I've seen some stuff and I've been
Dope.
through some stuff.
Nice. So how did you and music cross paths? How did that journey start?
I was born into it. My family, I'm from a family of musicians. My dad was in a band, with my uncles, and I just always grew up around it. And so I was bitten by the performance bug really early, at a really early age. I think I wrote my first song in seventh grade. I'm not sorry, seventh grade, first grade, and it was
Wow.
called "Brush Your Chompers." And so, and
Wow.
my teacher had me go teach the song to my class, and then we had to go and sing it to all the other classes. And it was embarrassing, but cool at the same time.
Nice. Not first grade.
Yeah.
I love it. So how did growing up in the Midwest shape your musical style and your vision as an artist? And how did that influence your decision to pursue music professionally?
It as far as being in the Midwest and it's shaping me. I grew up listening to a variety of music, especially with my dad and them being a band. They played Tejano music, which is Tex-Mex. They played country music. They played rock. They played R&B. They played top 40. So I was exposed to a bunch of different styles of music growing up, and I just found my way to pop and R&B. Artists like Babyface, Boys to Men, even like the Bee Gees, and so it was a lot of different inspirations and influences rather that came my way, and I just took what I loved from each of them. The biggest influences, of course, Michael Jackson. George Michael is my number one, and so yeah, it's just a whole lot of different styles, and I found what I loved, and it ultimately being pop music and R&B.
Nice. I look R&B is my biggest. I'm stuck in the 90s. Call me crazy, but I'm stuck in the 90s because let me tell you, until I come across artists that come across my platform, I listen to my artists that come across the platform. I have a playlist with just those artists.
Mm.
If I don't come across it, on the platform, then I'm listening to the 90s music. I'm stuck there because I just said, listen, bring
Hey,
back the love music, bring back the music we
yes,
used to listen to. Like,
yes. You know, it's funny. I was listening to I have a playlist of like love songs and like that sexy R&B stuff. And me being an artist, I like to put my stuff in there too. And there's a few songs that I'll send you that I'm like, oh, you might like this, because I definitely write for an older demographic, and because that's just what works for me. And being a '90s kid and an '80s kid and all that, I tend to lean into that when writing songs. And
mhm.
so I'll send you some stuff.
Please do, because I'm telling you, I asked an artist that came across the platform one time. I said, you know what do we fall in love to now?
Yeah.
Because in the 90s and that era, there was mainly the love songs. People were getting married to these songs, but now the music industry is so oversaturated with everybody, it's hard to like pick out. So with that being
It's
said,
I'm
go ahead.
sorry. Yeah, it is. It's funny. I'm a balladeer at heart. Like I love '80s ballads. I love '90s R&B, and that influences my style a lot. And it's just not really out there as much right now, and that's okay. Because that means it's going to come back.
Right, right. You're right. So, with me saying the music industry has been so oversaturated, what makes you unique? And also, what keeps you authentic on your journey? Because you have people that's jumping on trends to become viral. So,
Yeah.
how do you master that and, stand out still and still be authentic?
I write from the heart. As everybody's going to say that they write from the heart. I don't try to be anything that I'm not. And I love writing love songs. I love writing stories. I like twists and turns in storytelling. And so I try to stick with that. But ultimately, if I like it, then I have a pretty good idea of what my fans like, and they're going to like it. Although you never really know, but ultimately, I've got to love the song, and I've got to love what it's saying, and I've got to love the story. I got to love the melody, and so I got to love the chord progressions. It's a whole
Right.
thing for me to really love a song, because I have tried before to force some stuff that just didn't fit, and it was clear to me and my fans that it wasn't authentic. And I'm like, skip the
Mhm.
trends. This is not who I am. I'm writing from the heart.
Right. But it's funny you said that because I asked this question because I want to know when I listen to a song, the first thing that I hear is the beat. Okay. Now, if the beat isn't good, then I'm skipping. So,
Right.
for you as an artist, what is the most important element for you, the lyrics or the beat?
I mean, it's a combination, but because again, like most people, if the beat's not good, they're not going to listen to the lyrics. Skip to the next song.
Right.
But if so, ultimately, I guess, I mean, to me though, you get the most out of lyrics. You get the most mileage out of lyrics. You get the most emotion out of lyrics. And I pride myself on being able to write lyrics with certain um, phrasing and the way that certain words will hit and just at the right time, like certain consonants, certain vowels that I want to open up when I want the heart to open up. It's
Right.
it's it's a lot. It sounds a lot more complicated than it is, but it's also a lot more complicated than it sounds at the same time.
Right. But I mean, I still, you're right. The lyrics and the beat has to come together as a combination to make the song a hit. But I talk about how back in the day, you say you're a little older. They used to make songs where you would stay in the studios for hours on hand, and then you had people vote,
Yeah,
to say, oh, that's a hit, and then that's the one they were released.
yeah,
Now, things are so different in the music industry. You don't have CDs anymore. You don't have cassettes no more. You don't have vinyl anymore. None of this stuff. Everything is straight internet streaming.
right.
How has that been, whether rewarding or difficult or challenging for you as an artist?
So it's funny when I put out my first two albums, I was at the tail end of CDs
Mm,
and also at the early end of like digital music. And so
mm,
my fans, thank God at the time, uh, they downloaded the albums, they bought the albums on iTunes, and then they wanted physical copies. So those first two albums, I sold twice as many, and I was really blessed. Then when it all went to streaming, by that point, I think I was just kind of like, I might have been burned out a little bit. And so I
mm.
stopped doing as many shows and I wasn't pushing the songs and all that. So the streaming, and not to mention, they take such a huge cut of our work.
Yes.
I mean, we don't make like not even a penny per spin. Uh,
Right.
yeah, so streaming really, as much as it leveled the playing field, it hurt the artist. It hurt all the artists, not just independent artists. It hurt, the big
Everybody.
time.
Everybody, exactly. So I see now a lot of artists are going towards, are gearing towards singles now. They're releasing more so singles and EPs rather than albums. Which one of those formats work best for you? I mean, I can see doing the EPs and the singles because at least when you drop the singles or the EPs, you can kind of get a feel for your audience and what they like, and then put an album together based off what your audience like. But what works best for you?
Well, up the first two albums it worked best to do actual albums. The third album was literally just a love letter to New York, New Jersey, Kansas, my life, my wife as well. But now my wife knows that when I get in album mode, she lost me for a good year. So she's hoping that I don't put any more albums out. But she's definitely, her and along with my manager, Kick Up Your Heels Entertainment, Katrina and Rachel, they've been on me for a couple of years now. Hey, you got to put out some new music. You got to but I can't force it. I can't force it. I've got to be inspired. And you know what, Nikki? I've been inspired.
Uh-oh.
So
Uh-oh.
everyone can expect some new music from RO this summer.
Uh-oh.
And some other stuff that I'm working on that I'm super excited about. So
Love it. So now you say you've been doing this for so long. Have you collaborated with, who have you collaborated in this time period that you've been in the music industry? That
well
would be
I
key to you.
Um, so who have I collaborated with? Color Me Bad was a big influence on us back in the day. In fact,
Yes.
when I first started my group, we eventually, me and a couple of kids, my cousins and another good friend of mine named Adrian, um, that group evolved into another group called Slow Motion, and we were a multicultural group, much like Color Me Bad, and from the Midwest, much like Color Me Bad. So I was very much inspired and influenced by them. We got our name Slow Motion from a song on their first album called Slow Motion. I don't know if you remember them or you remember
Oh,
the
I
song.
do. The
They
song
have a
"I
song,
Want to Sex
"How
You
to
Up."
Love You in Slow Motion. Ooh, you got it going on. Let me love you slow. And so we
No.
were like, we love that song, and we thought it's a cool name for a group. Let's do it. And so that group, helped us out a lot. Color Me Bad helped us out. They gave us some songs to record and all that. And next thing you know, we got a record deal, and we were out in New York City in '98.
I love "Color Me Bad."
Yeah.
One of my favorite songs, "I Want to Sex You Up." I love that song.
Ooh,
I still play
I
that
just did
song to
that
this day.
song. I just did that song in a show about Thanksgiving, right on Thanksgiving, around Thanksgiving, the night before. I did a show and I threw that song in there because got to show some love, and then you got the people like the old school, and so
Yeah, that used to be the song. I still listen to, like I said, I'm still stuck. I'm stuck in the
yeah.
90s. So that's one of my favorite songs. So with you being a part of the music industry for so long, from starting, with the pop group at the age of 14,
Mhm.
how have you seen the industry change and how have you adapted to those changes?
I'd say that the biggest change is from the is the media, the way that that you get well, that too. That's a big change. The way you get your music out to people. Before, again, it was the CDs. You were hoping that they would, you'd have to have some major distribution to get them in the stores like Sam Goody's or Virgin Records or all these places. And now, again, just level the playing field. Anybody can put anything out. Whether it catches or not, that's a whole different story. But that's the biggest change that I've seen. Genres are going to change. What's popular is going to change. And I would say since probably maybe 2010s, there's just been a huge blend of
Yeah.
everything. It's almost like there's no genre because it's like rock is doing rap and rap is doing country and country's doing pop, and so it's a whole melting pot right now. So it's I don't know if it's harder to stand out or not at this point, but those are the two biggest changes that I've seen.
But you're right, though. A lot of artists I see now are being more versatile.
Yeah.
They're doing R&B and pop, and then they're dabbling into the country, and then they're doing a little bit of gospel. They're doing a lot of different things, and I'm like, why are they doing this? But I see what you mean. You have to be kind of versatile in order for you to make something in the music industry anyway.
Yes.
So I see why. So with performing with artists like Aaron Carter to Jay-Z to Color Me Bad, that must have been like some great experiences. How did those collaborations shape you as an artist as a whole?
Well, the Color Me Bad one, we actually just met them outside of a concert they were doing, and we sang for them, and they loved us, and they ended up taking us on tour with them. And so it was really cool. Like we did a bunch of shows with them. They would just pull us up in the middle of their shows, and we would perform, and it was awesome. The Jay-Z thing happened because Kelly Price. Do you remember Kelly Price?
Yeah.
She heard us singing at the Manhattan Mall in New York City. And we asked if we could sing for her. She said yes. And then she said, y'all hold on, you babies hold on. And so next thing you know, the radio station came over to us, and they were like, hey, can you guys be here at 5:30 in the morning? We're doing a show. It's going to be Cisco, you guys, Faith Evans, and Jay-Z, and Dave Chappelle was on the come up at that point too. And so we got to do that show, and it was just incredible to watch Jay-Z in his prime. It was during the Hard Knock Life to us.
Oh man,
I'm telling you, it was amazing. And then
that's when he put his best stuff out. Hard Knock Life.
God, it was just amazing to watch that man work. And Cisco was crazy too. Like that's when the thong song was like popping.
Thong
So
song.
yeah. So it was cool. And then Aaron Carter, that happened, with me as a solo artist. And, Aaron was troubled. Aaron Carter was troubled. He, had his demons and whatnot, and he was fighting them. And he was always such a nice guy to me, always so cool to me. We did a few shows together, and he was just always so nice to me. And I have nothing bad to say about that man. May he rest in peace.
Nice. I love it.
Super talented too. Amazing to watch. He's a showman. He grew up in the business, so I mean, I watched him do a backflip off of a drum set, like on a small stage. It was cool. Wow. I also watched him kick somebody out because they were being really mean. They threw candy at me.
He said, really do Kelly.
Much love, Aaron. I hope you're doing well up there, man.
Oh man, that sounds amazing. You said Kelly Price heard you. Wow.
Kelly Price, yeah.
So having been a part of the music scene for so many years, what's the most valuable lesson you've learned to about maintaining your longevity in the industry?
I would say to keep your circle small.
Mm.
Keep your circle small with people that you trust, and because it's easy to get burned, it's easy to be led astray, it's easy to be influenced by all sorts of people that don't really want what's best for you. They want what's best for them. So you keep that circle tight. So I've got Katrina, I've got Rachel, I've got my wife, I've got close friends that I trust that will tell me, hey, this song's good, or hey, this song isn't that good, or whatever, or you should do this show, or you shouldn't do that, So small circle.
Small circle. I agree. Small circle that you can trust at that.
Yeah.
So with you having such a diverse career, from music production to directing your own videos,
Yeah.
how do you balance these roles, being the artist, the producer, the director, and which role do you find the most fulfilling?
Well, so there's a couple directors that I've always loved working with. One in particular, Chris Green of Truth First Studios. Shout out, brother. Missed you, man. But I like shooting my own stuff because then I can get exactly what I want. I know the angles that I want me to be seen in, and I know the angles that I hate, and I know the story I want to tell. And no one really has come closer to that than what I really want, other than Chris at Truth First. And so, but yeah, as far as balancing it, it's all, I need help. Sometimes my wife is there holding the camera while I do this, or, have a friend or whoever's available, hey, just hold the camera here. Let me take a look. Hey, I got to shoot it again. Patient people, small circle, help.
There you go. Small circle. You back at it again. Yep. Small circle. Yep. So if you can change anything, any one thing about this whole time in the career of music, what would you change?
What would I change about? You know what? I think I would have given the first album some legs, a little more legs than I did, because when it hit 62 on iTunes, it did well. But as soon as that thing came out, I was ready for the next project, and I started working on the next album. And there were some really good songs on that album that I just didn't let live. I was quick to put out other stuff. Now, granted, the first album, my main producer, Edson Sean out of Brooklyn, we were both on the come up. And so it wasn't production wise or recording wise, or even vocally, as good of a product as what came after. So, and I kind of felt that when I put it out. It did well. It did what it needed to do. It planted the seed for me to go on and do bigger and better things. So, but I wanted to put that behind me because I knew I could do better. Right. The producer knew he could do better. So when we put out The Lottery in 2016, I stand behind every single song on that album. That album hit number 8 on iTunes, and it was an amazing time. But it was polished. I felt like I really needed to do that, because I wanted to see, one, if it was a fluke, that first album that did so well, and 2, I was like, I got to come correct for my fans that really love that album, the first one, and give them something that they can truly love and bite onto and be proud of, and be like, hey, have you heard of this guy? So it's yeah, that. And then same with Midwest Charm. Midwest Charm was written, during COVID, I think. Yeah, I started writing during COVID, which is the third album. That's the love letter and all that. But I didn't support that album. I didn't go out and do shows and tour and all that. I just put it out because I just wanted to put something out. And again, there's a ton of songs on that album that I'm like, man, I need to give those legs. And so there's still some stuff from The Lottery I might put out, just to put something out and try to give it a little life and breathe a little life and generate a little income, so
repurpose it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's there. It's not doing anything. I might as well, if I recycle it, not everybody's heard it, so And what's also interesting is I feel like some of the songs that I put out, I'm sorry, I talk a lot.
No, you're fine.
I, I feel like some of the songs that I put out there are songs that are way better
Right.
that I should have put out, and I don't know why. I think in that moment I'm feeling it, and I'm thinking there's an image that I'm wanting to portray, or a message I'm wanting to convey, and then I listen to some of the other songs and I'm like, man, that song so much better. Why didn't you put that out? Why did you put that one out? So these are things that you kind of just you got to learn, how to do it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's a right way, because I lead with my heart when it comes to that stuff.
You
And if
have
I'm doing
to.
something in the moment, I'm going to put it out. And sometimes I don't think it worked out the way that I would have wanted it to.
Well, that being said, what legacy do you hope to leave behind when you decide, you know what, I'm not gonna do any more songs? What
Yeah.
legacy you want to leave behind with your fans and with the upcoming artists?
I just want people to know, at least that I'm a good guy, and I wrote songs from my heart, and that my lyrics do tell a story. If you listen to every song, there's a story behind it, and I just want people to relate to them. I have a song on my first album called "Angel by Your Side" that was never going to be a single, and it won't be a single, but it's one of the most popular songs from that album because people play it at funerals. In fact, I just had a fan message me yesterday that she played it at her mom's funeral, and the funeral director loved it and is going to start recommending it to people. And that's a very special song. And it you can listen to it, and I can listen to it and still cry, because I
Wow.
know what I was writing about, and I know what it can do for people as well.
Wow.
It's a song. It's hopeful. It's written from the perspective of the recently deceased, which is really interesting.
Wow. So
Yeah,
if you had to choose between, now you've probably written a lot of songs,
yeah.
but it's like choosing between your babies. But if
Mhm.
you had to choose your favorite song, what would you choose?
Man, it depends I mean, it really depends on my mood.
Mm.
There's a song that I've been loving right now, called "Stay" off of my Lottery album. And it's just a simple acoustic guitar song, and it's just about not wanting to get out of bed with your partner in the morning, like when it's time to get up and go, like, no, 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 stay. That's a beautiful song. I've got God, I mean, that I'm looking at a wall of my lyrics that I made into art, and
Oh,
I can look at "Beautiful, Sad, and Sexy," and that's an R&B Chris Brown type slow vibe that's really nice. I can look at God, "The Lottery," which is written about my wife. I hit the lottery in life, and uh,
oh,
I mean, I have a lot, man. I have a lot, and it's hard. It just depends on the mood. It really depends on the mood.
man. I see you gonna make me binge listen to all your songs.
I
I'm gonna be
always
sitting
tell
up
people,
listening.
that, like, if you're going to listen to anything off of the Midwest Charm album or the Lottery album. RnBPoPWrytr, that was the first album, and there's some good stuff, but definitely listen to "Angel by My Side" or "Angel by Your Side" on that RnBPoPWrytr album. That's
Gotta
that's
listen
nice.
to
But
that one.
anything
Got
else, you're good to go. I'll
so
send you
what?
some stuff.
Please, because I'm telling you, you're gonna make me binge on. I'm like, he keeps mentioning the album, The Lottery. I want to hear
Yeah,
that.
that's a good
So,
one.
what advice would you give to the younger generation? Because now I feel like the artists now are lost
Yeah.
because they're so focused on being viral, being famous, being rich. So they're jumping on all these trends to be the best artists out there. What advice would you give to them as far as the industry in general and how to navigate this thing we call the music industry?
Um, the same thing I said earlier, really about like being true to yourself. Don't jump on a trend, be the trend, you know? Do your own thing. If you're doing you, if you are doing you and not jumping on trends, that is unique enough that no one else can do it. No one else will do it. So, and not the way that you do. So be the trend. Don't jump on the trend.
I love that beater trend. Oh, I Love that. So this is my final question for you.
Okay.
If you could have a conversation with your future self,
Okay.
what would you say and why? And why?
Conversation with my future self. Um, I would want to make sure that I've done everything I can to utilize the gifts that I was given, and to share that. And I know my manager is probably biting her tongue right now listening to this because she's been telling me that, but it's the truth, you know. I've been blessed with a talent that not a lot of people have. You know, I'm a singer songwriter, and I can tell stories, and I need to utilize that and make the most of it. And yeah, that's what I would tell myself: just make sure that you're doing everything you can to share that gift with people.
Absolutely. So now this is your time to shine. So this is what I like to call the BTS 30 seconds of fame.
Okay.
I want you to let everybody know where they can follow you, how they can listen to your music, purchase it, what's coming up next for you in the year of 2025. Shine all you want. And if you want to, you can throw a little tune in there if you want to. We want to
Okay.
hear that voice.
All
So
right.
after your countdown,
Okay.
you're going to have the platform to yourself.
Okay.
What?
So all right. So, Roger Ortega, you can find everything at rogerortega.com. All the socials for Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, X, which is formerly Twitter. Everything is RnBPoPWrytr. And the way I spell it is different. So go to rogerortega.com. I'm going to be putting out new music in 2025. The summer, I think, is the plan for the first release. And then this winter or next winter, we're going to be putting out new some Christmas stuff with some friends. So super excited for that, and hopefully you guys will join me and sharing the love. And that's pretty much all I got for now. That's all I can say for now. Maybe some videos. No, for sure, some videos.
I thought you was gonna give us a snippet. I was waiting to hear your voice. I said,
Can I do it real quick?
you sure can. I'm with you
Can
back
you hear
up
that
there.
piano? Okay, just a little bit for.
Another day is gone. I'm still all alone. How could this be? You're not here with me. We never say goodbye. Someone tell me why. Did you have to go and leave my world so cold? Every day I sit and ask myself, how did love slip away? Something whispers in my ear and says, you are not alone. I'm here with you. Though if I were apart, you're always in my heart. And you are not alone. I'm here with you. And though if I were away, I'm here to stay. And you are not alone. Whoa. Why? Whoa.
I'll give you that. I'll stop there.
That was beautiful. I was sitting.
Thank you.
Oh my God. When is this? When you said this album coming out?
Yeah. So, obviously Mike was a huge inspiration as well. So show some love.
Love it. I love you. You have a beautiful voice. Yes.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you so much for taking out your time to come and sit and talk with me If there's anything that I can do for you on my end to further get you to where you're trying to be, we're in it to win it.
My girl,
I
thank
got
you.
you back. Let
I
me know.
appreciate that. It was a pleasure being here with you, and thank you for all the love and support.
Thank you. And thank you so much for everyone else out there that's tuning into this amazing episode. Did y'all hear that? Oh my God. Mind blowing. I was like, oh, I'm sitting over here. I'm like, I'm getting emotional and stuff. I'm like, yes, that's the kind of music I want to hear. Yes. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining me in another episode of Breaking the Silence. Remember, the courage to share your truth is the first step towards healing. And every story we tell brings us closer to understanding, growth, and change. So if this episode has resonated with you in some type of way, share it with someone who needs it. And let's continue to break the silence together. So until next time, stay strong, stay inspired, and always remember to speak your truth. Later.